Hey everyone, welcome back to another Fortnite Save the World video. Today, we are talking about Valley Amplifier in Twine Peaks Endurance. This is a part of what's wrong with Twine Peaks Endurance series. I started just with a couple videos for Devil and Ramp amplifiers. To explain how they work, Husk and Smasher's behavior, what to accept, what to do, and etc. And I realized that lots of people liked these two videos. That's why I made a third one for Valley Amplifier. Since it's very annoying for some people. Let me know in the comments if you would like to see a video like that for each amplifier or not. When I talk and explain everything I know and see in my testing. So, back to Valley Amplifier. What is going on with it? Specifically, smashers during waves 15 and 25, when they don't recognize the amplifier at all, and start charging around ruining all the walls and the whole build. And the weird thing is, it's random. Like I run Endurance 6 or 7 times without any issues. And suddenly, during one run, it happens. I test again without changing anything, and it doesn't happen at all. Few runs, and it may happen again. I changed the main tunnel layout, the path itself, used 2 paths build, everything. And still, there's like a 10 or 15% chance that it may happen. The only way that I tested for a long time without having this issue is when I used to build without a single wall. Yes, I relied only on roof and floor traps. But it's not a good idea. I tested that with max durability and ton of traps. And if I got more waves than usual, some Husk can pass the tunnels and reach the amplifier. Some people think that covering everything with drop traps with high durability ratio will work. It works actually, very well too. But at some point, the Husk level and health will be high. And once you reach late waves, it won't be easy for your traps to eliminate the Husk. And if you got some hard waves, like 25 and 26, maybe 21 too, only drop traps won't handle that. Even with max traps damage and durability ratios. Still, the Husk will manage to pass through. And with the help of some healers, that's a different story. So, long story short, a build without any walls for Valley Amplifier works well. But it's unreliable. Which means, we have to use walls and ramps as usual. I left the main build as it is, and started testing different loop bridges. And it helped tremendously. With some loop bridges, I can test 2 or 3 times a day for a whole month without having a single issue with smashers. With other loop bridges, I can have this issue once a day. Then I went and tested with my alt accounts, and it was the opposite. The one that worked well with my main account, doesn't work well in my alt at all. Instead, the other one that didn't work well, it does here. That's why I always mention changing the loop bridge helps a lot more than you can think. And every base is a bit different when it comes to Twine Peaks Endurance. This issue with smashers acting crazy with Valley Amplifier has been here for years. Not like the other amplifiers when it comes and goes. Hill Amplifier for example. So, to conclude everything, from my testing, this issue with Valley Amplifier it's not related to the build itself. It's more about if the smashers recognize the amplifier or not. And if you take a closer look, it's not just the smashers. Same thing with mini-bosses, lobbers, and specially sploders. Sploders are the closest thing to smasher when it comes to the Husk behavior. They will target the upper part of the amplifier first, not the lower one. Even they will climb the loop bridge, till they throw the gas tank first. But if they don't recognize the amp at all, they will go crazy and destroy everything. Just like lobbers and mini-bosses. Lobbers are easy to handle, just few anti-air traps and you are good to go. Sploders as well with some sound wall traps. But if you got a heavy sploders wave, they could cause some issues. Now let's go back to the smashers issue. So, now we know that the loop bridge is the key here. And I know that a lot of people will say just use an amp design or some walls around the amplifier to drag the smashers to follow the amplifier without causing any issues to the build. It's a very good idea, and I use it myself for Devil and Ramp Amplifier. But the thing is, for Valley Amplifier, you need that for late waves, 15 and 25. For Ramp, it's just wave 3. Even if the smashers destroyed the amp design during that wave, wave 3, it's not an issue at all. Because it's not needed anymore. Same thing with Devil, the amp design is just there for wave 6. But with Valley Amplifier, you have a high chance to get a random wave before even wave 15. Wave 5 with smashers and mini-boss, wave 11 with lots of smashers. There's a high chance that the amp design gets destroyed. Even if it passed all of that, it will get destroyed for sure during wave 15. So, wave 25 will be a different story. That's why I don't rely on it with this amplifier. Instead, I use a loop bridge. handle any mini bosses and smashers easily. And with the right loop bridge, you can avoid that smashers issue. A lot of talking about a small simple issue, I know. But it has been here for years, and I love to explain everything I know from my testing. So, after all, it's all about the amplifier itself, not just the build only. Yes, the build plays a huge role as well, but not just like the amplifier itself. Note that all my testing depends only on the gameplay. I don't go to the game files or the custom parts of the game that leakers do to get the latest news for the game. I don't know anything about this part. A lot of people ask me to track the game files themselves, but it's outside my area of expertise. One more thing I noticed with this amplifier is sometimes lobbers during wave 21 start throwing skulls on the roof and the entrance of the tunnel. Some anti-air traps will handle them easily, no need to change anything. I'm testing right now the latest version of the build. And if everything went well, I will post a new build video for Valley Amplifier. It already has a lot of update videos with the old build video. I managed to test it with what I call a cursed run. When you get 5 or 6 waves on the same amplifier in the same run. There will be a lot of smashers, mini bosses to test the build and the loop bridge with. I managed to get waves 11, 15, 16, 21, 25, and 26 on Valley Amplifier in the same run last night. The hardest run possible you can get. Especially waves 21, 25, and 26. 3 heavy long waves. 6 waves like these can ruin your build easily if it has any issues. Even with max traps damage and durability ratios. With 309% durability and max traps damage ratio, 1 or 2 husk managed to reach the amplifier at the end of wave 26. And 1 sploders destroyed part of the entrance of the tunnel. That's normal, don't worry. A run like that is rare to happen. And it consumes your trap's durability a lot. Like when I checked after the wave ended, the tunnel traps were literally wiped out, even with 309% traps durability ratio. That's why I expanded the secondary path by 1 tile during the run. And added a floor for the smasher to land on after they get pushed from the loop bridge. Instead of landing on the geyser. Yes, it's funny to see smashers flying like that. But it can cause issue to the loop bridge. I added extra sound wall to the entrance of the tunnel as well, and some drop traps for the secondary tunnel, to avoid any husk passing through or any sploders issues. Usually, I retest the build again after any edits. And I did with all the random and main waves. But not wave 26. It's very hard to get a clip for wave 26 with smashers. First, it's a random wave. And sometimes when it spawns on the amplifier you want, it doesn't spawn smashers. That's why I added the record of the run while I was still editing and testing the build. To show you how the build works during wave 26 with smashers. I'm still testing this build few more times. And if everything went well, I will post gameplay video and build video for it as usual. But this time there will be an extra video. In the build video, I will cover the main build only. Then we'll add a separate video to cover all the loop bridges I tested. So, if you got an issue with the one I'm using, you still have 3 or 4 more to pick from. Again, let me know in the comments if you would like to see videos like this one for the rest of the amplifiers or not. And that's it for this video. Don't forget to use code Larsis in the item shop and Epic Games Store if you want to support me, helps me a lot. As always, big thanks for all the channel members, super chat on the stream, everyone uses my creator code, and all the support, really appreciate that. Hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, see you in the next one.